Guys, wake up, Jacob. This is Israelite Prepper. It's me, IP. And as you guys may have saw it, maybe some of you maybe have seen the thumbnail, and it's really just talking about what's going on in Italy, because we know the European country, Asia and China, the Asian country and the European country, they got hit first, obviously starting in China, and then it just spread across, and then of course as you have travelers, more and more people became infected. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Again, as far as like the titling, I don't know what it is, man. One video, that I done, I titled it, the name of the plague that's going on right now, and like it was like 2 views after hours and hours and hours. And so you gotta be careful how you tag it. I mean, I guess some of the giants, the huge bloggers, because I'm nobody, right? But some of the giant, bloggers and giant channels, they can name title it that stuff, and it's just fine, and it gets through. But the little guys guess they feel like we're spreading propaganda, which, of course, to me would be silly because it's reality. It's what's going on. It's just what's going on. And then rather me making things up, I'm looking at articles and things that people have already seen. So this stuff is already out, and people can see with their own eyes what is going on. So, but I wanted to look at it. I like to look at things, situations from different perspectives and different angles, and compare different media. Since this is affecting the whole world, I want to know what's going on in Australia. I want to know what's going on, obviously in Europe, China, Africa. I want to know, what's going on in each place, so I can have I don't want to be so myopic in my viewpoints, but I do have a little bit of an article here, and it's for Italy, and it's come from CNN actually, and it says Italy calls in military to enforce coronavirus lockdown as 627 people die in 24 hours. That seems like a very, very serious thing to me, right? So 627 people die in 24 hours, right? So let's look at a little bit of it. It says soldiers were being drafted in to help enforce the lockdown in Italy on Friday, as officials announced 227 new deaths, the largest single-day toll anywhere in the world since the coronavirus outbreak began. Desperate scenes have unfolded in the north of the country, particularly the hard-hit Lombardy region, where infections first exploded last month as hospitals struggled to treat thousands of cases. And Chinese medical experts helping Italy deal with the crisis have said the restrictions imposed in Lombardy are not strict enough. You understand that? Not strict enough. It says the government has now agreed that the military can be used to help enforce the lockdown. The president of the Lombardy region, Attilio Fontana, told a news conference on Friday. The request to use the army has been accepted, and 114 soldiers will be on the ground throughout Lombardy. It is too little. It is still too little, but it is possible, Fontana said. Unfortunately, we are not seeing a change of trend in the numbers, which are rising. And again, guys, the numbers are actually rising, unfortunately. The soldiers had until now been deployed in the region to ensure general security in the streets. More than 4,000 people have now died from the disease in Italy, the country's civil protection agency said Friday. More than any other nation, and nearly 6,000 new infections were confirmed in the past day, bringing the total to more than 47,000 cases. Daniela Confilanori, an Italian nurse in Milan, the region's capital, said the situation was so dire that the dead were no longer being counted. So they just stopped counting. They just stopped counting bodies. It was just getting really, really, really bad. Okay, and it's not just all old people. Okay, it's not going to be just our senior citizens. It's not just all old people. So we got to keep that in mind. Quote: "We're working in a state of high stress and tension," Califanori said to Reuters. "Unfortunately, we can't contain the situation in Lombardy. There's a high level of contagion, and we're not even counting the dead anymore." Look at the news that coming out of Italy. and take note of the situation, what the situation really is. It's unimaginable. A hospital doctor of Bergamo, another Lombardy city, told CNN it had been hit so hard by the coronavirus that it is now sending patients who need intensive care to other parts of the country. Okay, guys, this, I'm just reporting what's out there, right? I mean, it's not a, it's just that if we don't watch what's going on in other countries, the countries that are ahead of us, meaning the outbreak went to these other countries first, if we don't watch what they're doing, okay, we can learn from it. We can learn the things that they're doing that they may be doing right, or we can look at the things that they may be doing wrong. Okay, so that's why we have to learn and see what is going on elsewhere. Okay, the places that are hardest hit, because we may be right behind them. Okay, Bergamo is sending the ICU patients to other regions because we ran out of space. Dr. Stefano Manoni told CNN on Friday, adding that intensive care units in hospitals in nearby Brescia were also full. Brescia is the second worst affected province, according to the Civil Protections Agency. Around 50 patients were sent out of Lombardy to other regions, mainly in the south. Mainly in the south. Wow, let's see here. McNoney said less than half of those were COVID-19 cases, according to the Civil Protections Agency. Bergamo's mayor on Thursday announced plans to build a field hospital in the city to help manage the situation. A doctor in the Lombardy city of Cremona, Ramona, told Reuters that he had seen a lot of dead here, and that medical staff were battling to cope with the lack of equipment, long hours, and increasing sickness within their own ranks. It's starting to happen, guys. Really, it's starting to get really bad out there. I would say that we are at the end of our strength. He said this is a small hospital and we are taking in a lot of people. I would say the capacity is finished. We do not have sufficient resources and especially staff, because apart from everything else, now the staff are beginning to get sick. About 70% of those treated at the hospital from COVID-19 are surviving, he added. Let's see here. Let's see. I think this is the end of the article there. Mass in front of. Okay, that's not it there. Patients often die on their own. The disease has taken the greatest toll on Italy's elderly population. Figures released Thursday by the Health Institute of Italy indicated that 86% of fatalities were among those aged 70, over age 70. People aged 60 to 69 made up a further 10% of the patients. Pelusi said the hospital was trying to help patients keep in touch with their family by phone, particularly the elderly who were less used to making phone calls. Sorry. I'm trying to read like 4 or 5 things at one time. Sorry. The greatest problem, which is emerging in these days, I would say, is that the patient cannot be visited by the relatives and often die on their own, he said. So a lot of people, they're feeling lonely. Nobody actually wants to die alone. Nobody wants to be without their family. They want to be with their loved ones. If this is their last, the last moments, you want to be with your loved ones. So let me see what you guys, do a quick little roll call. It's not that many of you guys right now. So just want to say hi to you guys real quick. Let's see. All right. Shalom, Frank Stockton, and shalom, Evan Davis, and shalom, Lisa. Okay, so that's all that's going on right now. That's fine. That's fine. I didn't want to be too long on this live stream. I just want to kind of get a little bit of a perspective from CNN, in Italy. I want to get a little bit of perspective of what's going on. This is getting really. This is getting it's dire in some places. Okay, I'm not going to even finish the article. You guys can go check it out. It is on CNN. But the situation is getting very, very dire out there. And again, I'm not trying to be a wet blanket or anything like that. I'm just trying to keep us all informed. In fact, you guys see some stories or whatever. Hey, send them over to me. I want to just take a look. There's a lot to be made of it, and obviously we can draw from, you know, scriptures and things like that if we want. I don't like to get into a whole lot of, you know, conspiracy theories or anything of that nature. But I just want, you know, I want us all to be informed, right? I want us all to be thinking what's going on. And I also want us to all be aware of the time and season that we in and what we're going to do should we make it to the other side. And I think most of us will make it on the other side. But can you guys imagine, okay? When we look back at history, right? And we think of we look at biblical history, and then we look at, you know, other text history. We look at all the tragedies and atrocities that befell many of the Israelites and many people, you know, wars and famines and pestilences and things like that. And you know, you had, you know, slavery, you had kingdoms rise, kingdoms fall, so many different things, right? And to us, it was like all history. It was just history. But now we're starting to get through our own thing, our H1N1, SARS, you know, anthrax, 9/11, you know, war, desert storms, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan. We're starting to go through some stuff, and now look at this. We have a current plague. We're actually alive at a time like this. And I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying something huge that's going to be written in history. We're living it. We're living it. Can you imagine 10, 20 years from now? Okay, this is going to be a part of the history books. Okay, this, you know, this is very, very, I mean, it's bigger. It's really, really big. It really is. This is a big thing. But I also want us to think about, what are we going to do on the other side of this? What are we going to do? How are we going to respond to what's happening right now? Because I pray it's over very, very soon. I really do. I pray this whole thing is over very, very soon. But the question is, what are you going to do when it is over? When we get to some sense of normalcy? That's what I'm thinking. Just some sense of normalcy. What are you going to do? Or we're just going to go ahead and get back to the way things were and just go on about our lives and say, hey, that's over with and that's it? Or are we going to start doing things a little bit differently? Because right now we're operating at a heightened sense of awareness, and most of us, you know, are being very, very cautious, being around others, you know, distancing ourselves, social distancing. You know, things are really, really, really changing, you know. I mean, heck, right now, it's almost, someone sneeze or cough your way, you might as well, you know, punch them in the throat, because that's a fighting cough. That's a fighting sneeze right there, okay? You know what's going on. You know, you get some people out there, it's just crazy, you know, it is crazy. So, what can I say, guys? We are in some interesting times. Interesting times, to say the least. But hey, you guys got my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. Like, share, subscribe, put something in the comment section, get a thumbs up, you know, and I'm definitely going to be seeing you guys on the next one. I just wanted to come in here real quick, check on you guys. Hope everybody is doing very, very well in their households and everything. If everybody who's on right now, it's not that many of you guys, let us know if everyone is doing fine in your household. Everyone's okay, everything's good, before I go ahead and sign out. So just say that, hey, all's well in the Stockton household, all's well in, you know, wherever Sister Kimberly Wells. I can tell you, know, everything's okay in the IP household. Everything's fine. So if everything's good in your household, great. We should continue to pray for one another, and we should pray that when this is all over, that we can get into fellowship with one another, like-minded fellowship with one another. We should really work towards that, because when the chips are down, who's got your back? This is Life Prepper. See you guys on the next one.